So in terms of the agenda for today's session, I will start with opening a little bit about the Global FemART project and the reason why this event is running today, some of the results from this project and our successes. And then we will be moving on to some of our guest speakers. So we will have Alina first, then we will have a short coffee break, followed by more guest speakers. So Joe and Alessandra will also be presenting their business. And then we will have some exhibition rounds. So our artists and creatives, Michelina, Pani and Lizzie, will be presenting their work. We will then have another short coffee break, followed by a final guest speaker, Agnieszka, and then a closing statement from Innova. At the end of this event, we will be leaving this room open for a further 30 minutes to allow you to continue networking and discussing if there's anything you'd like to ask. As well, after each guest speaker and exhibitor, there will be a chance if you'd like to ask questions and get some further information from our female artists and creatives here with us today. So before I start about the Global FemART project, I wanted to introduce Innova as the host for this session today. So Innova, we're based in Sheffield in the United Kingdom, and we're an SME which was started in 2001 by Marina Larios, who is with us today. And it's actually our 20-year anniversary this year, so it's a very special year for Innova Consultancy. We are an organisation that's focused on providing services to empower both individuals and organisations. So we have a commitment to embrace diversity in the fields of gender, disability, race, age and religion, and we want to support personal and professional development. We have some key focuses such as entrepreneurship, employability and soft skills development. We are heavily involved in Erasmus Plus projects, which is what the Global FemART project is. And it's funded by the European Commission. We've been involved in over 100 of Erasmus Plus projects over the years, so we're very experienced and have very much enjoyed being the contractor for the Global FemART project. As well as our Erasmus Plus projects, we also provide one-to-one coaching services, training on diversity and inclusion, as well as a range of other project-related services. If you'd like to know more about Innova Consultancy, please head to our website at www.innovaconsult.com, where you'll find all our services and our projects there. Brilliant. So I'd now like to introduce the Global FemART project itself, which is the reason why this event is taking place. So the Global FemART project is an Erasmus Plus funded project. So it's funding from the European Commission. It was a 30-month project, which is actually ending in 8 days, the funded period of this project. So it'll be ending the end of April this year. So I will be presenting all the work and the results and the successes of this project and going further how you can get involved with this project. So this project came about by our research into the continuing gender gaps and inequalities which are seen in CCIs, which are the cultural and creative industries. So we wanted to develop a project that was focused on support, empowerment, community and development. So our aims of this project were to develop specific support for entrepreneurial development for female artists and creatives, combining a holistic program of online training and mentoring. We also wanted to enable female artists and creatives to develop and further develop their understanding of how to run a creative business, as well as strengthening self-confidence and self-efficacy. We also wanted to help artists and creatives to take that next step with their business, with a focus on moving towards internationalization and more globalized trade. And in doing so, with all of these aims, we wanted to connect different artists and creatives from across Europe and further. And with these connections and networking opportunities, we wanted to raise awareness and create discussions around gender equality within the cultural and creative industries. In terms of the project, Innova are by no means the only partner involved in this project. We've had an amazing team with us to develop this project, and I think we have a representative from each organisation here with us today, so thank you for attending this event as well. So in terms of our team, we have us, Innova Consultancy, based in the UK, which brought the soft skills mentoring and entrepreneurship development experience to this project. We also have Odyssey, who are a university based in Belgium, who have been amazing at our IT development side of this project. So creating our global FemART online platform, which I will present in a few slides. We also have FYG Consultores, who are a company based in Spain. And they have brought their expertise with business development and a focus on internationalization to this project. We also have our company called Arteria, who are based in Poland, and they have brought their extensive experience within the creative and cultural sector and their insight and experience into this sector as well. And last but not least, we have Patera Hub, our company from Italy, who have also brought extensive and invaluable experience and expertise in the creative and cultural industries, and also business development, including some of their developed business models, which we have used during this project. So this is our global FemART team. If you would like to get in contact with any of us, I have our websites available at the end of this presentation, so you can get in touch with us. Brilliant. So the project itself, what have we been doing? So initially this project started out with the need for more research and to check and identify the key skills, both hard skills and soft skills, which female artists and creatives could develop further in order to support their business growth and internationalization. So we undertook a number of different activities in order to truly understand the needs of the target group. So this included country analysis in each of the partner countries, focus groups with local female artists and creatives, online surveys with more female artists and creatives spanning wider than our local areas, and also in-depth interviews with both female artists and creatives and also creative business coaches to see their side and their interpretation of what skills could be further developed to help this target group. In terms of the outcomes, we found that women were in general underrepresented in the creative industries, especially in terms of higher positions, which is despite the fact that so many more women actually go to, say, university to study these relevant degrees for business in the creative industries. We also found that many artists felt that they lacked some of the entrepreneurial knowledge to take a business further. This didn't always mean that they didn't have the knowledge there. A lot of the time we found that it was the self-efficacy and the self-confidence to be able to step forward and develop business further and have to seek, for example, role models to be able to do so. And there were also some hard skills development which were identified, such as financial knowledge, planning and management, and communication across an international scale in order to help to internationalize a business. So from all this research, we developed a framework which then informed the rest of this project and outputs. This framework is set up into 3 levels, which are evidenced in our platform, and also relating to a competence of each. So vision, motivation and perseverance, and planning and management. And these 3 competencies were used in our artist circles, which I will go on to speak about next. So our global FemART artist circles were a huge part of this project, and many of you who are here today, I think, participated in those sessions. So these sessions were to support the soft skills development of female artists and creatives, and increasing their action planning and goal setting abilities to move in the direction for business growth and internationalization. These circles were based off Innova Consultancy's mentoring circles methodology, which focuses on peer support, experience sharing, and goal setting and accountability. So from these sessions, a total of 52 female artists and creatives were involved in these sessions across 2 implementation phases. 4 partner countries were also involved in these circles. So they were not just done in the UK, but also in Spain, Italy, and Poland. During these sessions, the artists created and developed their international action plans to help further their goal setting in order to move into the direction of business internationalization. And as I said previously, each of these sessions were focused on the competencies identified in the initial framework. So vision, motivation and perseverance, and planning and management. So I've just got a few testimonials from the circles which highlight the positive impact that these have had on our participants. So someone from Spain said they helped to realise that there are people who could help you achieve your objectives and internationalise your business. They found that they were motivating, inspiring, insightful, and a really interesting and important project for everyone's personal growth. So it's a huge success in all the partner countries, and here are just a few of the testimonials. And following these circles, we hope to take a number of participants to Italy for a networking week to learn more about business internationalization. Unfortunately, due to COVID, this couldn't occur because of travel restrictions. So instead, we conducted an online event which allowed female artists and creatives from across the partner countries to come together to share their business ideas and to network. This was a hugely successful event, and we have some testimonials here from the event. So apparently it was inspirational and motivating, and very enriching to meet women from the different countries and to share all their experiences. And it was very inspiring to see how everyone has developed their own projects. It was a brilliant event to be a part of, and again, I'm sure that there are some people here today who were involved in that international networking circle. So from the discussions that we've had with our artists and creatives who have been involved in this project, we wanted to further develop some resources to aid both artists and creatives themselves, and also the wider stakeholders such as the creative and cultural industries and creative business coaches. So we developed a guidebook to present the situation of female artists and creatives across the different partner countries. This is all based on the research results from the project, and also including the experiences and feedback shared during the different aspects of this project, such as the artist circles and the platform piloting as well. We also collected case studies from some of our artists. This guidebook contains some of the most successful tools and techniques used in this project in order to further aid other female artists and creatives in their business internationalization journey. And we also have presented the participants' experiences within the creative industries as a whole and the Global FemART project, which can be found on YouTube as well. So this guide has now been finalised and will be available on the Global FemART website if you are interested in finding out more and reading about this guidebook. Our website is here at www.globalfemart.eu. So finally, another huge aspect of the Global FemART project is the Global FemART Learning and Networking Platform. So this is a platform which aids the business development of female artists and creatives through building knowledge on business internationalization strategies and topics. So there are 6 learning modules on this platform. Each of the modules includes additional OERs, quizzes and certification following the completion of each module. There is also a way of creating a profile to share your journey, social media handles and websites in order to present yourself as an artist or a creative to others using this platform. There is the option in our Connect section to post images to promote your business and to sell your work, and a comment section in order to network with the other artists and creatives involved, and to start a discussion about your work, their work, and potential collaboration. It's a brilliant platform to connect with other people, and when you registered for this event, you will have been asked if you would like us to register you onto this platform. If you have ticked yes, you will receive a username and password via email in the coming week or so to allow you to access this platform. But if you want to go onto the platform yourself, please go to platform.globalfemart.eu to start exploring and going through all the learning modules available. This entire platform is available in English, Italian, Polish, Spanish and Dutch, so it's not just available in English. So in order for us to develop this platform in the most concise way and to make sure that it was in line with the current needs of female artists and creatives, we had 2 testing phases where all 5 partner organisations were involved, and in total 55 female artists and creatives were asked to test the platform and give us feedback in order for us to tweak the platform so it was finalised based on current thoughts and needs of the audience. And from these responses, we found that the platform was very attractive, user-friendly, relevant and quite innovative as well. So we've had a very positive response from this platform, and we would love for you all to get on there and experience all the possibilities for yourself. So thank you for listening to me while I go through the Global FemART project results. We would love for you to keep in touch with us. I've put our website, our Twitter page and our Facebook page there. We also have our platform as well. In terms of finding out more information about us, please feel free to send myself an email or send us a message through our social media channels. We have also been added as a good practice into the Voices of Culture report and the upcoming European Commission Gender Equality report, which will be available in May this year. So through those reports as well, you will be able to find out more about the Global FemART project. So thank you for listening to me. We will now move on to our initial guest speaker, who will be Alina from Kikiniki, based in Poland. So I will stop sharing my screen and I will hand over to Alina to talk about Kikiniki.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, because I could see there are men on board. I'm so excited to see all of you and to present my work. First of all, I am going to teach you a word that doesn't make any sense, but this is the name of my business. It's Kici-nici. So this is how it should be pronounced. In Polish version, it's Kici-nici. And I have read on the presentation showed by Emma that I am a doll maker. And in fact, this is true, but this is just a part of what I do. So let me start with my characters first. You could see them last time. These are rag dolls, handmade toys with a story. The story, 5 stories in fact, have been published in a book. Let me share a presentation that takes you to my world. I am going to try to entertain you a little bit and explore the kingdom of Kici-nici. Jumping to the presentation now. Yes, can you see it?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Right, so let me tell you what is Kici-nici about. I am the author and a publisher of the stories that are educational, entertaining, and enhance creativity among young readers. These stories can be enjoyed by children, of course, but also their parents, grandparents, as well as the teachers. This is the cover of my book. The greatest book of Kici-nici was written and published, aiming to be a book with a difference, and this is why. The main characters, because of their origin, let me remind you that the mouse has been made with the Italian fabric I bought in Italy on holiday. The mouse discovers that she speaks Italian. Her friend, the rabbit, her name is Tilly the rabbit, speaks English because she was made with a second-hand British shirt. Of course, the dolls become friends. They start up a club. The name of the club is Kici-nici, as you can guess, and they try to teach Italian and English words and try to explore the world of adventure in the literature and creativity. They believe that their stories can be enjoyed more when you listen to the songs. In my book, you can find lots of places that take you to the internet platform created especially for this purpose, and they present themselves with the song. There are 5 adventures in the book, and they cover lots of different aspects. As you can see, there is the story for Christmas, how to have a colorful and healthy lifestyle. There is a story about sport and all the safety procedures, how to be safe, how to play in a safe way. There is a story when they go around the world and meet new places and see new faces. There is also a story for springtime when they teach children how to take care of other people's problems, how to solve the problems, how to work as a part of the group to solve a problem. You are all familiar with Rudolph, I guess. Yes, this is the poor reindeer that was being laughed at. All the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names, and this is my reflection, what I feel about myself. Sometimes I feel that I am ready to do something different, to make a difference, but I lack the confidence. And when you look around, there are many people like this. There are many Rudolphs in this world. You just have to get to know them. And this is how the project Global FemART helped me with, to find other creatives, courageous girls that gave you support, influenced you, gave you inspiration to make sure that you start believing in yourself. Of course, there are lots of different sweet things that came out as well from working in this program, in the project. The sweetest thing for me as a part of a reflection is making a movie that presented my work in the context of global FemART. That was very meaningful experience for me, and it helped me with my career, maybe not on a global scale, but on the local scale, although the film was made in English language. Being part of the project made me feel secure, because the mentors were very supportive. They motivated me, helped me to build up my business plan in the context of globalization. And this, of course, was the beginning of a good friendship, I can say. But the project is almost over. We don't meet face to face, but I still feel supported in what I do. The other perks are seeing what other creatives in different parts of the world are doing, how they make their businesses international, learning about their ideas. Maybe it is difficult to guess, but here the Italian context, because my characters are sharing a special Italian dessert. It's panettone, and I am so happy to see the Italian partners of the project, because last time they inspired me so much. So I think this is great to see other people, although you can't meet face to face. Right. Coming back to the book and to the issue, what makes it different, I believe that you don't need to be professional artists to create meaningful things. And this is what I did. I started to motivate young readers to be young artists as well. As you can see here, there is a ticket to the amateur movie There are 5 films in my book that were made by children while they were playing or playing out or acting out my stories. The part of the creative room also includes materials for musical and for galleries, because there is room for drawing. As you can see behind me, there are works of young readers sent to me, which I really enjoy, because this helps me believe that what I do is meaningful. There are different do-it-yourself projects included in my book, and there are also screenplays for acting out the shows by primary school children. This is the inside. So this is a sample of the cutout part. The music part has got different materials to be used, such as different songs that come with karaoke version, and there are also notes and chords to play the guitar. There are 5 films made by children in my book. All of them can be enjoyed on my YouTube channel. This is the part of the screenplays that could be used by teachers in the primary school, with the useful clues, hints, how to put it on stage. And the last part is the art gallery, to be downloaded for all the stories. And this is Kichinichi in action. I do enjoy meeting the young readers and playing out my stories with them. This is how we play, and my reflection is that being creative keeps you refreshed all the time and makes you feel young every day. The aim of the meeting with the children is to make the children courageous, invite them to be the part of the story, let them animate, give them space for acting out. And enjoy literature. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoy my handmade work and my stories.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Alina, for sharing that. That's absolutely amazing. Does anyone, I can see there's so many comments in our chat going through, so many lovely things about Alina's business. Does anyone have any questions or comments they would like to share over the microphone, or any questions you'd like to add in chat for Alina?
Yeah, is it okay if I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Right. I guess my question is, like, did you self-publish your books, or did you have to go to a publisher to get your work out? And if so, I suppose, how did you do it? Because just from my personal experiencing, book publishing seems to be such a competitive market with thousands of authors, writers, illustrators. just trying to get your work out there. So how did you make it possible with all this competition?
And Martina is asking, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, to make this book, I have to confess it wasn't easy, but it proved that it wasn't impossible as well. I can only share my personal experience, and in the context of Poland, of course, publishing is very competitive. And because I am still the beginner in this field, although the greatest book of Kichinichi is my sixth project, and it's a collection of the stories that I published before, I decided to go into self-publishing for many reasons. The first reason was I truly believed in the background of my stories, because they are educational, entertaining, and creative, and based on my working experience, because I am a teacher. The second reason was that it was a motivation for me. I love learning about new things, so I learned how to self-publish, organize budget for this. Of course, there were so many mistakes I made on my way. I don't like them to share, but I think that the most important reason was that, knowing my character, I'm not a very patient woman. I didn't like to be exposed to the potential demotivating and very stressful activities, like waiting very long time for other publishers, for writing letters, writing the pitches, right? So that would, maybe it would be possible, but it would make all this process very, very long. And since I am 48, I don't have much time to experiment. Yes, I'm not very young, so I want to do things at this stage of my life. That I consider to be the best move, the best step I could make, because the book proved to be successful, and I feel motivated to go on, to learn more, and this is my personal motivation. I hope I explained, Martina.
Mm-hmm. And since you did go self-publishing, did you find it difficult to get your books into bookshops rather than going with a publisher, a well-known publisher? Was it difficult to convince these stores to take in your books and say, this is going to be a hit, I guarantee you these books are going to sell, even if they're self-published?
Maybe it is too early to state that. With the pandemic, we don't have a typical situation and a typical commerce, but what I do is present the book with the workshop together. So my product is a collection of things. You've got the material and you've got workshop with activity. And I think that makes my business special.
Thank you for asking my question. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. I think we just have one question in the comments saying, what inspired you to create these characters?
This is a tale as old as time. My child inspired me to create the characters. Her friendship, because I had my daughter went to school. Of course, there were so many problems to solve, and I use my experience as a teacher and as a parent to help others and other children and other parents overcome this stress, and use my stories as a kind of therapy, as well as the source of different other aspects, like motivation to learn languages, motivation to work in a group, motivation to solve problems, because problems are everyday, problems are always around us. This is the one thing that will not ever change. But your attitude can help you be positive. And I think that I will continue this kind of trend in my creativity, because it in Poland it proved that we really need this kind of approach.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Does anyone else? Oh, Agnieszka. Yeah.
Yes, Alina, I want to ask you, because we are on the international meeting, so I just want to ask you, did you ever thinking about, because your English is fantastic, did you ever thinking about write an English version of your book? Yeah, of course, it should be a little bit changed, because you teach English in your Polish version. Maybe you can try teach Polish language or the different language. Yeah.
In fact, I did. Some of the stories are already written in English, but I believe in stepping stones, right, and gradual progress. My focus is to prepare all the materials without stressing out and without feeling pressed, because money is tight. As you believe, in the pandemic times, lots of creative people can't do their job the way they used to do it. And of course, when you are when your business is meeting with the groups of children, you cannot do it in the pandemic. It is difficult to put my activity in the internet, because all these workshops are about feeling, touching, moving the toys, exploring, experimenting, and this can't be done on a camera. So fingers crossed, let's hope COVID will pass over, and this will give me motivation to work, develop, and think about future projects.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Does anyone else have any last questions before we take a short break before we move on? Either in the chat or over microphone. No? Brilliant. Well, thank you once again, Alina, for sharing your business journey, your story, and your amazing work. It's absolutely incredible. And I can tell just from the comments, you have a lot of fans here today. So thank you so much. As we go through, if anyone thinks of any further questions for Alina, please feel free to put them into the chat, and we can always circle back and come back to you. So it's now 5:02. So if we take a short 5-minute break, we'll still stay here. But if you want to go and get a quick coffee or a cup of tea or some water, and we will begin again at 11 o'clock UK time, 12 o'clock CET. And we will see you back in 5 minutes. So thank you. Doing a thumbs up reaction or in the chat just to say that you're back and ready to begin. That would be brilliant. Thank you. Great. Thank you, Alina, as well, for adding your Instagram and Facebook links to the chat. So if anyone's interested on finding out more about Kichinichi, please head to these links to find out more. Brilliant. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our second guest speaker, Jo Peel, who is based in Sheffield in the UK. So Jo, could I hand over to you if you're able to share your screen and start? Oh, I think you're muted, Jo.
Too many buttons on there. Yeah, so I don't do much zooming. Yeah, right, so present. Can everybody see the image now?
I
Does that work?
don't think it's
It's
sharing.
it's on my screen, full screen. I don't know.
If you click share screen at the bottom of your button and then click
On the Zoom thing.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then click share once you've chosen the page you want to share, it should come up.
Sorry, it's got a privacy issue. It's, okay.
That's it. Yep.
Great, nice one. Yeah, I am Jo Peel. I'm an artist based in Sheffield. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my journey from where I started out and to where I am now, I suppose. So I've been working as an artist for 15 years. I started working in restaurants. When I was at uni, I worked in restaurants to earn money while I was like getting through uni, and they realised that I had a passion for art and got me to paint the signboards and then gradually murals onto the walls. So I got quite used to like painting in public places and people seeing my work and reacting to it. So then when I came to like make my own work, obviously people still react to it, and so I thought I'd share some of the comments I got about this piece, which was like an animation that I made on a big wall. And so one of the first comments I got was from Gilbert and George, the artists, and they said that Michelangelo would be turning in his grave, because obviously, you know, my work's quite naive in style, and it's not what's the word, like accurate in the Michelangelo way. So yeah, they were saying that, and then a street art blogger came past and he said it's a waste of a wall. And yeah, so these are the sort of things that when you're working in public, it's like, it's kind of the things that you're scared of people saying, and then they do say it, and like you have to take it on board, but you also have to just carry on. And I think that's like a good parallel to like all like creative work and like working as an artist, because like, you know, you tell yourself these things and then other people tell them, and the reality is you just do it anyway. And then with this particular piece of work, the animation got like 118,000 views. It was a staff pick on Vimeo. It's featured in like Juxtapose magazine, loads of others, and like I got a commission by Chanel to make like animations in Asia, like all on the back of it. And so it's that thing, you know, if you listen to the voices and the people who don't like your work, then you wouldn't move forward and make the work.
Sorry, Jo.
Yeah.
Do you just want to click present so we can see your screen a little bit bigger so
Yeah,
people
sure.
can see your artwork?
Oh, yeah,
more? Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Here's another piece of work that I've made in Japan, and it's a mural that I painted out there through meeting people in Japan, and working with galleries there. I make, I don't just make wall murals, I make canvases and limited edition screen prints as well. This project is the result of a collaboration with Nigel Dunnett, and I've been working with him since we first worked together on an installation for Chelsea Flower Show, and we've made a few temporary installations, combining like our love for like urban architecture and urban planting, and we've finally managed to do this, which is like a permanent fixture in the town centre in Sheffield rather than a temporary exhibition. Yeah, I work with a lot of different collaborators, and another one is Duncan Cameron, also at the University of Sheffield. I did this for Festival of the Mind, and it's just an amazing way of like getting ideas together and like using like what you do and what someone else does to create something more interesting. And here's another mural that I created just before Christmas this year. I work with a lot of people to help me make the murals. So I work with other artists and people who want to make murals, and I let them like help me with the painting the mural, which I guess again it's like it can start as quite a daunting process to like get people to help you, because I don't know, it's it can be scary to ask for help, I suppose, and but the good thing is once you do and once you work with people, you can create teams and the work's more fun like together, and you can all support each other. And this is another one in the centre of Sheffield that I made a couple of years ago with the same team. And so I've been working with like a team of people like collaboratively for quite a lot of years now, and like, you know, like there's artists within that group, and we're all mainly female, like there's guys as well, but yeah, it's really nice to be able to like all work together and create murals. And here is a little video of me and some of my assistants on the latest project that I made over in Leeds. So we put this together just to sort of introduce the people that I work with, because I like to talk a lot about the people who help me. It's like I make these murals and I'm proud of my work and my style, and I've got my values, but I can get people to help me because of that, and it doesn't mean that you know, it gives to them and it gives to me. It's really cool. So that yeah, that's my presentation basically, and I guess, you know, what I've learned through FemART and the networking is just how great it is to collaborate with people and work together as women. And I think like one of the things that I've really learned, I suppose, is that it's that sort of question of why women are sort of held back in business, and I think a lot of it is it's historical in society, but it's like if we work together and create our own networks, then we're building each other up and giving each other opportunities, instead of like pitching against each other to try and get the one sort of token female opportunity. And it's like, yeah, not blaming the sort of the people that are keeping you out and sort of saying, oh, it's men versus women. It's just like sort of just being a part of society and working together. So there you go.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jo, for sharing your all your work. It's amazing. And I'm sure, as you can see in the chat, you have a lot of support from everyone here. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Joe?
I have
Martina?
a question there. I guess, was it difficult, I suppose, getting the jobs or getting the people that own the buildings to hire you to do this? Or was it like, did they advertise they were looking for wall murals, or did you kind of like convince them, what do you think about putting a mural on this wall for your building?
Well, like I said, I've been doing it for like 15 years now. So now people generally write to me and ask me to do them. In the beginning, I used to ask people if I could do them. So it's like, yeah, it's taken a long time to get to the point now. But in the beginning as well, I used to do lots of like live painting events and like, yeah, sort of paint for free and, you know, do things like, they have like, well, I used to live in London, there's lots of like paint jams, and you do like a festival and like sort of paint live on the street with loads of other artists, and so it's a way of like meeting people and doing that. And then, yeah, it's like that big Village Underground one, the one that I showed you that was a animation, that I created. It was a friend owned the building, and so I asked him, could I use the wall? But it's like a rotating wall that a lot of artists use. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I suppose one thing I've noticed about mural art, you might come into contact with insurance or public liability. Did you ever have issues with that, having to get insurance or stuff like public liability to do the job?
I always have public liability, but I just get it through And Arts Insurance. So they just have like a yearly thing that's for all artists, and you just pay for the public liability on that. So yeah, and luckily I haven't had to use it. So.
And did you ever do like a free live art jam for like city councils or council work, something like that?
No, I don't think councils really set those things up. It's been more like in like a pub or the street. There's like this thing called like the street festival in London, and like then there's like Upfest in Bristol. It's like a painting festival. I guess the council probably sponsor them as well, but it's like a independent festival, and they get artists today.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Brilliant. I think we have a question in the chat saying, is there a creative quarter in Sheffield?
I think there's many quarters in Sheffield. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm in it actually. Yeah, I think that's like where my studio is, like round Brown Street near the Showroom Cinema. I think it's the creative quarter.
Hi, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Have you got some new projects coming to Sheffield, some new mural?
No new murals in Sheffield actually. I've literally been working on a film recently, so I'm going to be releasing that in June. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully it'll be showing somewhere in Sheffield, but I painted it all in my studio during lockdown. So.
Brilliant. I think we have a comment and a question. One comment is, let us know when you are doing your next one in Sheffield, so we can come and watch. And then another question is, if you would go back in time, what would you do differently?
Oh, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because you never could. It's that I guess it's confidence. Like if you could like have the self-belief that it would be okay, then you'd do a lot of things differently if you had confidence at the beginning. But confidence only grows from doing things, so you can't, it's like that, I guess, would be false confidence. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like to look back in that way.
Brilliant. And we have a question. Do you have any advice to young artists?
Yeah, just to like try and have confidence, or at least believe in like yourself, because like that's it. Like no one's gonna like. No one's gonna like what you do. Not everyone is gonna like what you do, and like if you like what you do and you know what your values are, which was something that we did with Inova, wasn't it? The values workshop, and like really like clarifying what it is that you care about and why you're making your work. If those things are clear to you and you're making something, then just keep going, and it'll work out eventually, because yeah, it's a long game, I think.
Brilliant. And we have one question. What did you enjoy most about the Global FemART Artist Circles?
The community, like working with other people and seeing other people's like stories and understanding like how many different ways there are of doing things, I suppose. And yeah, it's really great to just see so many women just like working creatively and making things happen.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you've muted.
That's automatic. Both hands were here. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, I love your work. I think it's fantastic. So, but you got this. I missed the beginning piece. Did you say were you originally from London and you moved to Sheffield? Was that because of the work?
I'm from Sheffield. I went to uni in Cornwall, and then I moved to London, and then I moved back to Sheffield after being in London for like 7 years, because yeah, London is hard to be an artist in.
I was going to say, I mean, was it what you, you know, I do a lot of workshops in schools, and so when they say, oh, I want to be an artist, I want to be this, and you think, okay, but was it what you wanted to do when you were at school?
Yeah, it was actually, and then it's a funny one, because I guess I wanted to do it at school, and then I thought, what a silly thing to want to be, what shall I really be? And then did all the sort of other things to try and be creative. Like I said, I used to be an interior designer, and then like do loads of set design and event dressing and sort of things. So I was like, oh, I can do all this creative stuff, so I'm still creative and just make my art in my spare time. And then yeah, it sort of worked out in the end.
The only reason I ask is because it's that whole thing about, you know, are you going to be able to financially survive as an artist if this is the road that you're going to take, and also the kind of bordering line of it. You know, I see a lot of went to Miami, and there's an area called, was it Wynwood, and the kind of graffiti
Walls.
Oh, you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that just blew my mind, the kind of creativity, the artwork but they call it was graffiti art. It was a mixture of, so is this, what kind of art would you label yourself? How do you describe your work?
I'm not graffiti, I'm like urban art, I suppose. I'm sort of in that scene because I know a lot of people in it, but I'm not like strictly, I'm not a street artist, because I do commission murals. I don't like go out and do that like stuff on the street that often, but I just happen to be friends with a lot of people in that industry, and therefore sort of in that world, I guess. So, and it suits me because it's very open-minded, and it's like, I guess like yeah, I like the people in the.
And the last thing I just want to ask is the development, because just even looking at the work, is it a depiction of some of the areas? It looks like some of it could come to life. Is that where you will ultimately be going? And kind of, you know, I come from a creative theatrical background, so I just see like so many stories in the imageries that you have. Are you going?
Yeah, well, I've got a whole load of animations. I've got a Vimeo channel. So I've got loads of animations, which that first one was like one of my first. And yeah, like I said, I've literally just made a film, which again is another story. So I do bring stories into my work through the buildings, and usually without people, I like to try and tell stories. But my latest film's got a real human in it. So
lucky human. Thank you so much, Jo.
Brilliant. Jo, it would be great if you want to drop in any of your social media handles or any of your websites into the chat so people have them. If you're happy to have people go and explore more about your work. I think we just had one final question in the chat that said, how many murals have you actually done in Sheffield?
In Sheffield? I'm not sure actually. I don't know. One, like over 5, 6, 7-ish, maybe. Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. So for those who are living in Sheffield, as you're walking around, just try and spot them and see if it's jovial. Martina, did you have a question?
Yeah, I know I asked a question, but I'm just dying to ask this one. because of the way the world has gone, have you found it difficult to sort of thrive your mural business, or despite the way the world has gone, are people still hiring you to do mural work, or have you had to move your stuff more outside than doing any inside work? I guess I'd love to hear how you've handled it.
Yeah, I guess I've been really lucky in that I've needed a break, and so like when the pandemic hit, it was just like actually a massive relief for me to stop sort of running, because I was I was like creating a mural every 2 weeks at one point, like just like in different places around the country, and like it gets really exhausting. And so this year, like I've only done like three murals, I think. So yeah, like 2 in London and 1 in Leeds. But then, so yeah, I've spent the time making this film in my studio, and I made a music video for a friend. And I've just been sort of working on other parts of my practice, I suppose. I make canvas paintings as well, so I've been doing those.
Brilliant. Thank you. I think we just have 2 really quick final questions. Who is your artist role model, Jo?
I don't have an artist role model, actually. I don't know. I was really like definite about wanting to like carve my own style, I guess. Like after uni and everything, I really wanted to try and find my own like identity and style. And I think now that I've found it, I feel less sort of like strict, like I'm more interested in looking at other people. Like for a few years, I just like wouldn't look at other artists, and not even now, like if artists are too similar, sometimes I'll like not look at them, because I don't want to, like I want to just keep on my own thing. But I think yeah, now I feel like I've got much clearer in my vision. I can look at other people and be inspired, because it's like, yeah.
Brilliant. And then the last question is, do you think you'd produce a book?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to produce a book. Yeah, that would be amazing. I've made little ones for exhibitions and stuff, but yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Jo, for your presentation, showing your work and answering all those questions. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure for anyone wanting to learn more about Jo, head over to her website or social media handles to find out more. So thank you so much, Jo. I'd now like to pass on over to Alessandra, who is from Factor Hill, based in Italy. Alessandra, do you want to try and share your screen, or would you like me to share your screen?
Hi. No, hello everyone.
Hello.
I have a little surprise, because before I will share my screen for everybody, because I want to show a video before, and then I want to talk. So, okay. You can see it?
No, not yet.
Wait. Okay, now, wait. Now you can see it?
No, not yet. If you want to send it to me in the chat, I can share it.
Yes,
if you like.
yes. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Because I changed my mind. We are artists also. Before I start with the PDF, I want that everybody can see this. Know it? Everybody? Here.
Brilliant. Okay, I will share my screen.
Yes.
So we can see this video.
Just to start, I want to start with this video.
Brilliant.
Okay. Okay, I will tell you something now. I will share. Was our first work. I'm Alessandra Gaeta, and I'm here to represent Factor Hill, which is an organization, a cultural organization from the south of Italy, and we are in a very little town, small town, next to Bari. So I share now. I hope that I can do it. Because we have done before. Okay, so you can see I'm very happy. You can see I prepared a little PowerPoint here in which you can see a picture, but it's I want to tell a little bit. I want to tell the story of our organization. I'm sorry for my English, but I'm Italian, so I will try to do my best. And as you can read here, we are focused on different stuff that talks about performing arts. And we have a very big now container, which called, as you can see, I translated for you, white mesh, that in Italian is a maglie larghe. It is, and it is a festival. Through the years, we arrived to this point to includes all the stuff into the white meshes, maglie larghe, which we used to do residencies for artists, shows, workshops, and talks. As you have seen in the video that I showed you before, you have seen one of our first shows, a production. The important thing for us is to put inside not only the dance, also the theater and the music. So all the components from Factor Hill are a musician, a composer, a dancer, like in my case, for example. And I'm trying to re-share the screen because this is only for, okay, so as you can see in this second step of my PDF, you see regenerate urban laboratory local focus. What means that we have this organization that originally, for example, here you can see the girl, this is in front here, is a graphic designer. She is with me, the founder of Factor Hill. And on the with the one the guy with the bear is another dancer. And the other two on the left side are two musicians. They are also a composer. As I told you, we work together from 2014, and so we try to put all together. What happens that with white meshes? So we have also our focus also was to find a place to do shows, and we don't have a place. So in this case, you can see this urban laboratory that is a community cultural center in this town where I'm also now. And we used to organize all our events and shows. As you can see, we have also a outside part in which we can do talks and stay there, coffee break, and all this stuff. This is the inside part in which we have a small stage. We have also this fantastic dance carpet, and next I will explain you how we get the stuff, the material, I mean. So as you can we have also an international focus that was was like born, can I say, was our first time 3 years ago that we start to do this international melt with another organization from here, from Puglia, from Italy. And this organization called Network Internazionale Danza Puglia, International Apulian Dance Network. With this organization, we start sharing with hosting other artists from all around Europe. In particular, the last 2 years, thanks to COVID, we've hosted a Swiss artist, dance choreographer for 1 week. And as you can see here, I write here, one step at a time, while time is very hard to stay focused. And because we are a lot of people inside Factor Hill, and sometimes we have a lot of ideas to share and to, how can I say, stay focused on this. So with this year, we will host a French artist, thanks again to Network Internazionale Danza Puglia. And I will tell you next about this. And as you can see here, you see okay, locandina. Un attimo, wait, I want to tell you a poster from the first edition. I told you I translated for you, but for us it's very weird. A maglie larghe, that means white meshes. This was the first edition in 2016. As you can see, it's very easy. It's very can I say, simple, very minimal, like a poster. So what happens that we in the 30 years we want to alters which I mean, this was the first in 2016. This is that you see now is the second year, 2017, in which you can see the program is very big. No, we had very different artists, more residency, more local focus. This was 2017. And I'm not, this is for you, is the first time that we show to other people our last posters. This will be the 5th edition this year for us. And as you can see, the first name is the 2021. This year for me is very emotional being with you here and to do this little spoiler. And we will have next month the 5th edition after 1 year of stay without have any action, any events, nothing. So we are very proud to continue our internationalization, and we will host a French dancer next May. As you can see here, you will find the website and Facebook and Instagram. This is our story. I have another little surprise. Hope to I will put in the chat the link. So in which I will show you what is also for us doing a production. A second. Okay, I will put the link again here. So,
would you like me to share the video so everyone can watch it now?
here, thank you.
Yeah.
So in this case, you will see a production. Okay. And this was our production, and in particular, this production was from 2019, and the focus was on bees. So for us, for me, that I'm also the creator, it's very important focus on the global attention. So I'm very happy to be here in this opportunity. And I want also to say that thanks to all these circles that I had the opportunity to take part, I understand a lot of stuff also about organization, because when you are an artist, it's very different. It's very different and difficult to take the same care into organizing stuff, have the focus and self-efficacy. Thank you for this work.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Alessandra, for sharing your work and your business. It's incredible. And again, the comments that are coming through from the chat are brilliant. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Alessandra? Yes, Agnieszka?
I want to ask you, Alexandra, hello. Did your work change now, especially in the COVID time, and how it's changed? What you have to change in your today's working? It's the same or it's different?
Okay, this year we had a lot of very I cannot say change. I'm very sorry for my English. Sorry. And because, for example, our focus also is now changing, especially because we have an holistic vision, and we are also approaching a lot into yoga. So we are also trying to put inside our not, I wouldn't want to say business, but our vision also to put inside more attention to the body in other sense. So, and for now, was a little bit stressful this last year, because we are only staying behind computers and writing and texting. Organizing was very, I mean, for an artist that is focused on body, and it was very, very hard. I mean, for me, was hard, but anyway, we had the chance also to realize like little pills, like little videos. We work a lot on videos. For example, exactly on the first lockdown last year, I realized a small terrace dance that you can see on my also YouTube channel. It is also a there are little dances of 10 minutes, or that is, I mean, we have to stay strong more.
Brilliant, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? I think you have someone from Italy who is based in Italy, a costume designer.
Yes.
Who's interested in getting in contact with you.
Very happy. Ciao, Silvia. Silvia
Oh,
Coralli.
hello. Good to see you, so many known faces. Yes, I just wanted to put my contact out there. So that would be so amazing to work together. And yeah, that's it. Nice to meet you.
We don't have a costume designer, so it will be super.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the opposite side of Italy, but that's not a problem. Train.
Okay. Okay, very nice.
Brilliant. We have a question saying, amazing work. What are your future plans?
What?
What
Sorry?
are your future plans in terms of your organization?
Okay, as I told you on the PDF, this very easy PDF that I've made, we have a lot of plan in these days. We are working like crazy people, because we have the 5th edition that starts on the 17th of May with this French dancer that comes from Harker & Camden's company. Also, it's very important for us. And so we are working on the 5th edition. That is a very big edition this year, because we start in May and we finish in November. So they are very intense. It's like a theater. Organization this year. It's very beginning with our.
Oh, Alessandra, I think you keep freezing.
Social connected with us. Ah.
Sorry, Alessandra. I think you keep freezing. Thank you for answering that question. Someone else has asked if you could add your YouTube channel details or the videos in the chat, please. And feel free to drop in any other social media handles or websites as well.
Okay.
Brilliant. Does anyone have any final questions for Alessandra? No? Brilliant. Well, thank you so much again for sharing your work and your organisation. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing that with us. So now, thank you so much for our first 3 guest speakers. We want to now move on to, before we move on to our final guest speaker, we want to have a few female artists and creatives coming to show and exhibit some of their work and their journey as well. So I'd like to pass on first to Michelina, who's here with us today to show us some of her amazing work as well. So Michelina, can I hand over to you, please?
Yeah, hi. Let me just share the screen real quick. So these are my details. These are my socials. I will move on to the videos in a second. So I'm a Sheffield-based filmmaker. I like to focus on like kind of art films, so like poetry and music video, where I can just have a bit more like artistic freedom. I like to do things by myself, so I'm a bit of a lone wolf in that. But yeah, there's not really much more to tell. Sheffield-based filmmaker. If you'd like to check out my socials, you're welcome to. I'm kind of moving in a bit more different direction right now, but at the same time, I really like where I've been in this last year. So I'm just gonna start with a music video, and hopefully you will see and hear it properly.
The week before Christmas, I will be in Glasgow.
Athena, I think you need to stop sharing your screen and share it again with the new. We can see the PowerPoint still.
Yeah, no worries. Is it not? Oh. Is it? Nope. Don't know if I can share it when I'm in full screen mode for some reason.
If not, if you want to send me the links, I can share them.
That's probably best. I'll just put them in the chat. So the music video is the first one, and then the poetry will be after that. And I'm not sharing anymore, am I? Oh, cool.
The week before Christmas, I will be in Glasgow. Meet me in the Sad Cafe. Our conversation, we keep it lighter than snow. We gotta watch what we say. There are silences filled by glances. There are the times when we don't touch. I know you don't expect any more chances, and me, I don't expect too much. Couldn't you have found yourself when it would have made a difference? Glad to hear you're doing well, but now there's all this distance. Oh, you can get to hell for kissing me so well. Take a toaster in your bath for the way you make me laugh. I could just shoot your stupid head for all the wonderful things you say. Close your eyes forever. We will never be together. Ooh. Our goodbye lingers like incense, like we've forgotten how to move. We've got no blueprint, we were never really friends. This is a whole new me and you. Couldn't you have been this kind when I needed some kindness? Ask me what is on my mind. Only notes on blindness. Put a dagger through your heart for tearing us apart. I hope you choke
Brilliant, thank you. And was there another one you wanted,
Yes,
the second one you wanted me to
again.
show as well?
It's the poetry
Yeah.
film we did in the summer. So these are also like Sheffield-based artists. So that's cool and local.
How soul-destroying life was, this platform of train spotters all of us had become. When once in a while a holiday would whiz past, followed by a birth or a wedding, and then a trail of photographs to live vicariously through the good old days. But now it's just me, alone. We all are, here in our tiny little boxes, watching life through tiny little boxes, staying still as the earth turns. A mighty vessel carrying us high speed to nothingness whilst we amuse ourselves to death. No identity without the world we left behind, no understanding of the growing earth outside. I see you there, at the other end of the phone, a touch away but miles apart, the dissatisfied ones. It's easier to live here, isn't it? To keep our heads down. Fleeting memories of 1,000 blank faces in overcrowded trains flying 70 miles an hour past unfamiliar places, towns our ancestors built. Their life achievements swept away and upgraded to the latest Lego brick city, now for none of us to see. Photographic memories only useful to paint our dreams. I went out there once, into the before. Morning air that we breathe no more. 1,000 people will never call a friend. Every one of their footsteps buried deep beneath this new land of uncertainty. I walked through the emptiness, a forgotten city waiting patiently for our return. I close my eyes and I see those who built this town, who endured sweat for it. I feel them beside me when the day fades and the buildings stare, ghosts of unknown bodies weaving past. One's from 100 years ago and one's from the yesterday that was before that doesn't exist anymore. Where people were a chain reaction and not the missing link between human and robot, but flesh and touch and wonderment, the curious ones. I open my eyes and the streets are bare. I was always alone among strangers, but now I feel lost without them. I have lived 1,000 of these days, but only remember one. I think I used to live somewhere else, in another time, when I could have been someone, when love came to us like time travel, organic and existing without our knowing, when music was euphoria wrapped around spaces and voices were masks wrapped around faces. All touchable, all breathable, all one. I think I've already lived and now I don't exist. A surplus soul searching. So I stay behind closed eyes. Try so hard to reinvent that time. I can't live this life of Instagram highlights and highs from likes. This fake universe already built for us and somehow we've migrated to. I do not belong here. In this vanishing room of codes, my body is flesh and mind and wonderment. What we have out there, what we left behind, is earth and blood and rock beneath our feet. The most perfect accident turned out to be the most perfect creation. But every day we ignored it. Every day we found ourselves in tiny little boxes to escape it. So I ask you, look up. Something else is alive out there, patiently waiting. Trees stand, arms outstretched, with love letters from all the days we missed them, and we will remember. How could we forget? It's the most simple and wonderful thing, this land we live in. I want to go home.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing those, Michelina. And you have so much praise going through the chat as well. That's brilliant. Does anyone have any questions for Michelina about her work? I think we have a question saying, what tips would you give to other artists?
I think the only thing I can say is just to go out and do it. I'm still figuring things out, so I don't really have any major tips. Just kind of, you're just gonna have to believe in yourself that you can do what you do, which I'm still working on, but that's where I'm at. Oh, to like also add the poetry film, I forgot completely because it was a while ago. It was actually a project that we completed in 12 hours. So it was kind of a challenge project, which was like, can we make a film in 12 hours? And we did. So yeah, that's a fun fact.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Someone's put a question in chat saying, do you seek out artists to work with, or do they come to you?
Both. I think with the poetry one, Nadia reached out to me about that. And with the music video, we kind of wanted to work together for a while anyway. I've edited some of her previous music videos, and then we wanted to do a proper video together because we started working together during COVID time, so I couldn't film it myself before. But yeah, I think I do let people come to me, because otherwise I just like doing things on my own too much. So that's still something I'm working on, still kind of finding the balance out.
Brilliant. And someone's asked, how can we access the latest poetry performance online? Could you add your links in again to the chat? Because I think you've had so many wonderful comments, they've got lost. And any other social media handles you want to
so add? I'm usually most relevant on Instagram, but if you want to check out any of my other videos and music videos and all the stuff I've done, you can check out my website, which is mooncrane.com. And that poetry film is on that link for Vimeo I just sent over. Thank you.
Brilliant. Does anyone else have any questions for Michelina?
Yeah, I guess I have one there now. I suppose if an art student was to come up to you now and they're just beginning, they have dreams of having a career in art, of having a life in art, and they just came up and asked you, is it possible to earn a living from art, to have a career in art, or is it just a fantasy? And what would your response be to these young artists, I guess?
Well, I don't make any money from my art, so I do other stuff that pays for it. It's still in the realm of me doing filmmaking, but it's not art. But I wouldn't say it's not possible, because obviously I see other people doing it. I've only been freelancing for 2 years, so I don't really have people coming up to me asking me about their dreams. So I wouldn't really take them away from them. But I think it's totally possible. It's just depending on how you approach it and what you do and how far you're willing to go with it.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
We also just have one last question. So how did you begin filmmaking? Like, how did you get into it?
Very randomly. I did in high school, I did an international baccalaureate, so we had to fill a certain amount of hours in this specialty categories. And I did an internship with a production company that also runs a little festival in Paris. And kind of that's how I found out that, hey, there is such a thing as filmmaking. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, I kind of like this, so let's go to university for that. So it was just very random, very kind of right place at the right time kind of situation. And I've just really enjoyed it ever since. So I stuck with it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sharing all your work and your social media handles as well. It's inspiring to see everybody's today. And also, so thank you so much and for joining this session. If anyone has any other questions for Michelina, please drop them in the chat and we can always come back to them later on. I'd now like to introduce another one of our exhibitors, Pani Lowe, who's an artist based in the UK. So Pani, can I hand over to you, please?
Hello, nice to see everybody. I've got a couple of very tiny videos and a PowerPoint with some of my work on, so I think I'm going to share the PowerPoint first and then do the 2 videos at the end, because I think that'll be a bit more streamlined. So I'll just share my screen now. Just get it. So really nice to see everybody today, and I had to come a bit later because I've just been teaching, so I missed the earlier bit, but great to see what I've just seen. So I'm a freelance artist. I also work part-time too, and that's the way that works for me, so that the part-time working supports my artwork, and my artwork also brings in some money. So I do paintings, photography, creative writing and classes for adults and children. I say it's heart and spirit through art. I'm also a mother, a grandmother, qualified social worker and teacher, and I've got various degrees, and my last one was a PhD in art and design, so went into some research then. This is some work from a solo exhibition I had in Sheffield in the art house. These were from some underground cities I visited in Turkey and Cappadocia, so some paintings there. These are the paintings that I had. It feels quite nostalgic now because these were on show in John Lewis in Sheffield, and of course John Lewis is sadly going to be losing the John Lewis department store, but it was very nice to have them in there. But they have been exhibited in other places as well, and these connect with my Chinese ancestry. There's much more story behind them that there's not really time to go into today, but I'm happy to talk to people at other times if people wanted to. So I've also had craft stalls and also exhibitions in places like this University Business Centre in Wakefield. And also I exhibit internationally. So here's just a few examples. The bottom left one is at the Qingdao Biennale in China. I can't see my own screens properly. So the top one on the right was in Taiwan at the Kaohsiung Cultural Centre, and the bottom right was in the Museum and Gallery Tuanku Puasa in Malaysia. I've exhibited in quite a lot of other places as well, and that has been a really great thing to do. Oh, somehow it's not moving on. Oh, that's it. So this is another example of an international exhibition in Thailand that I was in, and you can see quite a lot of the other artists in that. There's a collaboration between some Thai artists and Malaysian artists, and they had decided to invite me as an external to Malaysia and Thailand, although I've got family in Malaysia though, so there was a connection there in that way. I've also spoken at international conferences, and sorry, I can just see I spelled international wrong there. How could I have done that? But never mind. That was in the bigger picture was in Mongolia, speaking at a conference there, and then the other 2 were at the top one was at Chonam University in South Korea. These of course are all when people could like travel and get together, but I'm still in a lot of contact with all of these people around the world, which I really love. And of course we've now got the power of the internet like this to use much more, which is really good. So of course with everything last year, a lot of exhibitions had to turn to being online. So here's a couple that I was in. One called Stay Hopeful, that was an international art exhibition, both men and women. Then there was another one called A Better Tomorrow, that was with a group of international women artists that I know. And this led me to start leading art classes online for children. I'd done many in person, and it was a real tryout to see how it would work with the children online. this was one where I'd got agreement that I could share this photograph, because of course you've got to be very careful about that. They did some much more advanced work as well, and there's a little video I've got, but I'm not going to share this morning, for a painting birds for children course that I did, and I did make a little video of all their bird paintings. I've also led courses for adults online now as well, so those are my contact details there. And I just want to stop sharing this screen now, if I can work out how to do it. I'll get rid of that, and I'll go on to show you two little videos. The first one is a video that I made combining my creative writing and artwork. So it's quite experimental, but I really enjoyed doing it. I'm just going to make sure that I've got the right thing up. Just going to get it ready, and then I'll share screen. Gold upon the earth, I planted the hope. I sank deep into winter's cold embrace that submerged me in crystals that dazzled and dazed me. I surrendered to her icicle touch, and bathed in the sweet milk that nourished my roots. And up above, the sunbeams bounced and whispered, "Wake, wake up from your slumber. Now is the time to bring new life. Birthed from your deep sleep, allow your pods of knowledge to ripen and burst forth the white kisses of hope you long forgot. Lay your garlands of petals to gleam and glisten on the thawing ground as the birds call out. Open your flowers to welcome spring that heralds the midwife to come do her work. And then just breathe, and breathe in the mystery of what is, and simply trust." Sorry, I'm just trying to, I'll just trying to sort that out, to go back. So I might just stop sharing just for a second, because the next video is quite a different sort of thing. So that was one where I was experimenting, doing the painting and combining the writing. The next video that I'm going to show you is some of the work that was done from one of the adults classes that I led, which is a health and wellbeing class combining creative writing and visual art. And I wove together some of the writing that the students had written, which was quite a complicated task, but I think it turned out really well. So I'll just share screen again, and these videos are both only 1.5 minutes, so this is just a very short one as well. So the course is called Tap Into Your Own Wisdom. With our hands as antennae of the soul, we began to create that is personal and sacred. We received all gifts with gratitude and gave with humility. We made our own music, listening to what is important to us. Embracing our wisdom, we talked to our souls to speak our truth, making space to be hopeful. We mapped and navigated our lives' tapestries and learnt that we all have a river of strength running through us. We each connected with our individual spiritual guidance, creating lasting memories, protecting and rebalancing, restored by universal love. And from that place of stillness came a moment of perfect silence and peace. And we knew that our cups were full. And we wove our baskets of knowledge from the deep truths of the paths we have trodden so far. There. That's everything now. I can still hear a little bit of sound, so I was just worried in case one of the videos was playing, but I think it's gone now. So
that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Pani, for sharing your work and your business. That's incredible. You have some lovely comments coming through in the chat as well, if you can see those. Does anyone have any quick questions for Pani?
Yeah, I'd like to take a crack. That's okay. Pani, I noticed that you do a lot of exhibitions and galleries, but you also seem to have an online presence as well. Between the two, what have you found is actually works in helping get your art out there and maybe even selling your art? Because I know with galleries and exhibitions, there's like, you could be waiting years just to get your paintings on the wall. And you also have to share a percentage of your work if you do sell. So between both the galleries and exhibitions and sort of doing stuff online, is one better than the other, or do you find that both working together work?
I think that possibly online. I think the exhibitions are great things to be part of, especially the group and international ones, because you get to meet all the other artists, and that always, as artists, you need that new food and nourishment of like meeting others and getting that exposure, because it can be, you know, as we all know, being online like this, you're just in your own private space and you don't, it's not quite the same interaction. But in terms of selling, I think possibly online is better. Although I have shown things in places and then sometime later somebody's contacted me, they've saved my business card and they said, oh, I saw something and you know, I had somebody turn up and his girlfriend had really liked something and he said, I really want to buy it as a surprise for Christmas.
Right. So
yeah.
So would you say the galleries and exhibitions are more of a networking event to advertise than rather selling your artwork? Has that been your experience?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I have sold things that way, but then like you say, there's a percentage taken as well, whereas it's more direct.
So you need to be prepared to invest money in that side of things and be prepared that you might not get it back by selling. So it's just, I suppose, being aware this might be more of a networking thing than a selling art at the exhibitions and galleries, I guess.
Yeah, but okay. I would never not want to do the exhibitions. I would always want to do them. It's a better way round of saying it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. And we have a comment in the chat about saying Pani is so great at networking. So you've been, you are definitely. So thank you so much, Pani, for coming and sharing your work. Again, if anyone has any other questions, please drop them in the chat and I'm sure Pani can answer them. And Pani, if you want to add any of your websites or social media handles to the chat, we can, then everyone can get in touch with you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So we have one more exhibitor and one more guest speaker. So I'd like to hand over to Lizzie, who is a photographer, to show some of her work as well. So thank you. Can I hand over to you, Lizzie, please?
Sure. Hi. Okay, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Fab. So it's been lovely to see all your presentations so far. I'm Lizzie, and my creative business is Lizzie Henshaw Photography. Oh, we're not clicking through. There we go. I'm based in the UK in rural Derbyshire, and I've been in the industry for 6 years now. My passion for photography started when I was young. I always had a camera in my hand, and I spent hours poring over photo albums of old family photos and making new albums with the pictures that I'd taken. When I got older, I took a few night classes and realised photography was a subject that had endless potential, and there was always something new that I could learn and keep me engaged. So I began to study, and I completed a degree in fine art and documentary photography. From there, I've explored all kinds of avenues, including commercial, studio and music photography. But I fell in love with photographing people, the way they look, the gestures, characters and interactions. Capturing real emotions between people is when I'm really in my element. I never thought wedding or family photography would be something that I was interested in. I assumed it was stuffy and posed and traditional, but a new wave of artistic photography was emerging. Photographers were beginning to use documentary photography, which was conventionally associated with journalism, to capture personal and domestic scenes and celebrations. You didn't have to be bound to a studio anymore. You could spend time with people, documenting their lives and finding magic in ordinary moments, recording all the details that made this time in their life special. The natural laughter and intimate moments that make up relationships and the little details to look back on and remember. It was possible to rewrite the family photo album. It no longer had to be perfectly posed moments. I could read between the lines and bring out the passion, love, the funny moments, and even the sad times, celebrating and documenting real life. So I continued to develop my own style, which is heavily influenced in nature and folklore and stories and nostalgia. And of course, the interaction between the environment and the people that I'm photographing. I draw inspiration from artists such as Sally Mann, Robert Frank and Diane Arbus, who were ahead of their time, leading the way in artistic documentary photography, using narrative to tell a story within their images. Diane Arbus came from a background of strategically planned photography shoots for large fashion houses and magazines. Eventually pulling away from this, she immersed herself in the fringes of society, documenting and celebrating people that didn't fit the mould. Her portraits have an engaging force. To see a framed print in an exhibition, the piercing eyes of the subjects have a tangible presence that fills the room. And Sally Mann's body of work, Immediate Family, documents her young family growing up on the ranch in Virginia. Wild and feral and at times controversial, she addresses themes of coming of age and replicating adult life through imitation and play. Robert Frank's famous book, The Americans, addresses the American dream. He finds symbolism and poetry in his observations of America and depicts the stark contrast between the irony in everyday society. I try to create narrative through my own images, using a camera and light to record a moment that will become a memory. During my sessions, I allow my intuition to guide me, which helps me capture those beautiful, intimate moments that can't be reproduced by a pose. My aim is to create images that document the gestures and nuances that make up the story of a person or family exactly as they are at that time, as it's the little things that are so special and important to remember. These pictures are from a collection I particularly love. I spent time with this family and the sisters' relationship just shone through in all their gentle vulnerability. They had so much love for each other. You can see the connection, and especially love how the older sister asserts her role as protector over the youngest. And without words, you can see in the subtle facial expressions and body language. She's just coming into her power and beginning to challenge her role as a child as she steps into her teenage years. The innocence is still present, but the gravity and rebellion of adolescence is in her eyes. That's another aspect of working with families that I find incredibly rewarding. When they come back for further sessions, you get to witness the changes and watch them grow as a family unit and as individuals, bringing us again back to this theme of narrative and a journey through the images. Females in photography. There's a long, rich history of women in photography, which I won't cover now. But wedding photography has always been traditionally a male role. And I'm enormously proud that there is such a strong female presence that's changed the face of weddings, families and lifestyles now, with a renewed vision and intimacy that hasn't been seen before in an accessible setting. This has provided an opportunity to readdress and challenge the male gaze by introducing equality and female-led representation into the images. Throughout my work with families and couples, I work with women to celebrate their bodies in all forms that were often previously made to feel insecure or negative towards. I photograph pregnant, postpartum women and breastfeeding mothers, empowering women to love themselves as they are and enjoy their bodies as they change throughout their journey. So last year, physical shoots have been almost impossible. So I tried to put that quiet time to good use, and I've recently launched a new website and improving my social media presence to try and reach out to people. I'm pleased to say shoots are now resuming, and I've got a full schedule of weddings this summer to keep me occupied. I'm hoping to collaborate with people in the future, and I intend to keep embracing this art to tell stories of others and as a voice to discuss ongoing issues, and I look forward to seeing how it grows. If you'd like to find out more about me, you can find my website and on social media at Lizzie Henshaw Photo. And I'd just like to thank you for watching my presentation and to thanks Global FemART Project and Innova for organising this event. So thanks, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Lizzie, for sharing that. Your photography is absolutely incredible. Would you mind dropping your social media handles and your website into the chat? Just in case anyone easily wants to go and have a look now. Does anyone have any questions for Lizzie?
Yeah. Lizzie, I just want to ask, with the way camera phones are getting advanced, do you ever find yourself maybe using your camera phone to do some of your work rather than lugging around all the equipment and the big cameras, or do you still find yourself using the traditional equipment, I guess?
I rarely use my camera phone for anything. I think you're absolutely right that they're becoming incredibly possible, and you know, everything's possible on there now, and the cameras are becoming so good that it's a great way to document day to day. But personally, I always use you know, a proper camera, because when it comes to printing and actually enlarging the images, the quality is not quite there yet on phones, like compared to a regular camera. So if you want to make, you know, albums or blow up prints and you want that clarity to them, you still can't beat a regular camera.
Brilliant, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Lizzie before we move on? Brilliant. If you do come up with other questions once you've had a look at Lizzie's websites and her social media handles, I'm sure if you drop them in the chat, Lizzie will be there just to answer them. But thank you so much for joining us, Lizzie, and sharing your work. It's incredible. So last but by no means least, I'd like to hand over to Agnieszka, who is going to present her business and her work that she does based in Poland. So Agnieszka, can I pass on to you, please?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. I will start share my screen. I hope everything it will be okay. Yeah, do you see the presentation?
Yes, if you just press full screen, we should.
Yes, I will try. Oh, yes. Okay, so hello again. I start from a short introduction. So I'm a visual artist and art educator. I'm specializing in textile, handmade paper objects, and painting. I like experimenting and untypical combination of this technique. So I live in Gliwice, like Emma said, in Poland. I run my own business, and this is my art studio. So the studio is also a place to where I invite children and young people for art classes. I think with the kids we have created very great place with full of joy and creative energy. The children make incredible works, not only painting and drawing, they also make a ceramic. So they are often awarded on the competition in Poland and abroad. Since 2012, I have been operating locally. Apart from conducting the art classes in my studio, I cooperate with different, not only educational institutions, like libraries, children's home, kindergartens, schools. In 2017, I started cooperated with prison. It makes create ceramics and objects from handmade paper. The project was finished in exhibition. So since 2019, just before COVID, I started cooperating with a Polish institution in Slovakia. It was the Polish school in Bratislava at the Polish embassy, the Polish Institute, and a friend of Polish community in Bratislava. With this institution, I have conducted workshops in Bratislava and in Katowice in Slovakia. So my artistic life started quite early. I had a childhood of a future artist, which my parents support. I went through various levels of artistic education. It sounds easy, but it wasn't so easy. So apart from struggling with my lack of self-confidence, I was unaware, of course, of the social conventions of a woman has to confirm too. In my adult life, it was much easier to be a mother, to be a wife. It was more difficult to be an artist, just an artist, yes. So, but it was someone who gives me a reason. It was my 5 years. He was 5 years old. It was some time before. He don't like kindergarten, and he just asked me about the job which have more flexible time than, for example, to be an architect, because I'm an architect. So I try to find a job in the office, and he just asking, no, maybe you can do something what will you give you more free time for him, of course. Hugo is 16 years old now. But it was this time when I first just started thinking about my own business, and it was starting from 2012. Yes. So, but for a long time, I was focused on working with children, and I was focused on cooperating with educational institutions because it gives me money. I earn money in that way. But I still want to be an artist. And there was two important turning points in my life. The first one was my postgraduate studies at the Krakow Academy of Fine Arts and diploma in the fourth interdisciplinary studio run by Małgorzata Buczek-Śledzińska in FemART. She's a great woman who believed in me, that I can be an artist. And another important factor for me was the participation in the project Global FemART. I met amazing girls. I saw amazing works, great energy, and a lot of experience stimulated me to move forward. It was a lot of great meeting circles on which I learned a lot about business. At the workshop, I realized that despite being active since 2012, I had not thought much about the strictly economic aspects of my activities. I had not defined my mission, vision, or clear short-term objects. With the tools and methodology we learned during the circles, I systematized my knowledge and set my vision and goals. I felt encouraged to develop my international business aspect of my artistic activities to move forward and find confidence to enter the international area. The coronavirus, I think, a little bit helped me too, because I have more free time to make only my artworks. So I started to show my works on exhibition. I started to take a part in a contest, art contest, textile contest, and I started to cooperate with Association of Polish Visual Artists in Gliwice and Zabrze. So it gives me a lot of opportunity to show my artworks. Yeah. This is a picture from our artistic circles meeting. So it was a great time. It was before COVID and before closing us at home. So yeah, it was very good time. So the Global FemART, it was opportunity to make a video, make a film on which I speak about my work, speak about my studio, and of course, a few words I speak about the Global FemART project. So I'm grateful that I could participate in such a great adventure, which continues to this day. So this is flowers for everyone, for you girls and boys, of course, too. And especially these flowers are from the leader and mentors of the project Global FemART. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Agnieszka, for sharing your work and your journey and your praise of the Global FemART project as well. It's incredible. Does anyone have any questions for Agnieszka?
I think I said a lot of things, so yeah.
We do have one question. So what influenced your style of art designs?
A lot of time thinking about views, a lot of time thinking about environment, and I use materials which are close to nature, so that I try to put together different things, sometimes which we can just use every day. I have at home a little, I will say, some kind of shop with different things. My husband is not so happy when we see it, because I'm not working only in the studio, because this is the place where the children working too, so they have his own things there. So I have to work at home too. So I have a lot of different things that were around me. and the way which I need to put in my art. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much, Agnieszka, for sharing. If you want to drop in any of your website or social media handles in chat, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, we've come to the end of our Global FemART exhibition event. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have to sit and listen to so many amazing and inspiring artists and creatives from so many different countries. It's been truly amazing to be a part of this event and the project itself for the past 30 months. So thank you to everyone for coming and to all of those who were involved in the different aspects of the Global FemART project as well. I would like to take this opportunity to mention that as part of this event, we have developed an exhibition booklet, which promotes not only some of the work from our guest speakers and exhibitors, but also from some other artists and creatives who have been part of the Global FemART project and are interested in sharing their work. As you attended today's session, you will be the first to see this booklet. So in your thank you for attending email that I will send in the following few days, you will receive this booklet as well, which I hope you enjoy. It's got many social media handles and websites, so you can go and explore everyone's different creative businesses and artwork. As this is an event that we would love to get your feedback on, my colleague Marina will drop into the chat a short evaluation form, which she's already done, but we'll drop in again. If you could just take a couple of minutes just to complete this evaluation form, that would be greatly appreciated. Our funders, the European Commission, love to see your feedback on any events we do and anything that we could potentially improve going forward. So if you could just take a couple of minutes to complete that evaluation form, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. As well, this is the end of this session. However, I will be leaving this room open up until 1 o'clock UK time, 2 p.m. CET time. So if anybody would like to continue networking or ask any questions to anyone or get the contact details of somebody else, another artist. I know we have some artists dropping comments in on the chat already. So if you'd like to continue networking or go for a break, get a coffee and then come back, this room will be open until 1 o'clock. But if you could just complete this evaluation form, that would be great. And then thank you so much for coming.